Brandon Michael, Baller Enterprise. Baller cigars, paired with purpose. I am back in Kansas City from the Dominican. Man, I am grateful to be home with my family. I miss my daughter and my wife so much. But now I'm starting to miss the culture and the new family I met down there. So there's some feelings, I guess, if you will. I'm missing the new bonds I've created down there. So, but I'm glad to be back, spending time with my family, my wife and my daughter. Yeah. I can't wait to bring them down there. Yeah, Dominican is an amazing place. Let's see, the only two things we didn't do was go to the festival and find some new hats. This is one of my hats here from the house. I was hoping to get some new hats while I was down there, but they don't sell the type of hats I like. Unfortunately. But I gotta try a bunch of great cigars. Francie Santana, the last day we were down there, or when we went fishing, I let him, I gave him a cigar to try, and he liked it. It was a spicy cigar, and I said, I want it more spicy and more strong. And he said, okay. So he blended me one on my last day and rolled me up something to try. So he said they're brand new, they're fresh, very fresh. So let them sit for a week or two and then try it. So I will post those and let you know what I think of those. I met Saison, the guy who was rolling my cigars, and he let me try and roll one. Did not do well at that. He also rolls a bunch of very unique cigars. He does the Colibre, and he's got one that's like this long. He rolls them in the shape of pipes, all sorts of crazy stuff. Okay. Colibre. these. One in a box press. Yeah. So yeah, he's an artist. So anyway, trying to get my mind back in work mode. Got a lot of work to do. I downloaded Duolingo, so that way I can continue my Spanish education and continue to build on how much I've learned down there. I was very intentional in trying to learn the Spanish, trying to learn the language and the culture and understand and communicate, and they really liked that. They didn't look down on me like, you're not very good. They were happy about it, and I think that encouraged me to want to learn more. So my goal until I return is to build on what I've learned and not lose any of it. This is one from Sazone. He was rolling these. This is the one I was trying to roll while I was there. Did not do a good job. So he finished it and did it right, and then gave it to me. Like, we usually use a cutter to cut these. Obviously, any torpedo tip, they do too. But if it's just a normal cigar, they just peel the cap off or pinch it off. Or on the torpedo, they just bite off a little tip of the end. Very little. They don't cut it back farther like we do. Which I thought that was interesting. And I thought it was fascinating that Francie was able to blend a cigar based on what I wanted with stuff he had in stock. It's just like, yeah, I can make that just by tasting it. Very fascinating. I think next time I go down there, I would like to experience more of the pace of the culture. I think I took my American pace and used it to experience as much of the culture as possible. And I feel like I missed some of the culture by bringing that to the table. Because I wanted to just try it all and do it all. And now, thinking back, I'm thinking perhaps I missed something by doing so. Next time, I'm going to let the culture set the pace versus me set the pace to experience the culture. Anyway, the flight was good on the way back. Flight was great. So, no problems. Going through customs. Nada. Yeah. Struggling to get back in the groove of things. Struggling to get back into American lifestyle. But that's okay. I'll be back to going full force by the end of the day. I highly recommend visiting the Dominican, not the tourist areas. But if you have friends or know somebody that's in the real part of Dominican, like the Tamboree or outside of Santiago, it's much better. My least favorite part of going was going to the beach. Not because the beach wasn't lovely, but because the people there are different. It's a touristy area, so they interact with a lot of tourists. So they're just, the vibe is different. So stay away from the tourist areas if you want to experience really what Dominican culture is about. And I understand it's probably not doable for most people because it just so happens that the importer has built a tremendous amount of relationships down there. And he's built a family down there. So I understand, and my experience may not be like most people's experience. But if you're ever interested in creating your own line, creating your own brand, private label, let me know. Be happy to introduce, get you connected to the best in the Dominican. The coffee there is great. I brought some Dominican coffee back with me. It's crazy. They make their coffee with mocha pots, and that's what I make my coffee with here. They were very surprised. That's how I make my coffee. I was very surprised that's how they made their coffee. All their coffee is espresso, I didn't experience any other coffee. Oh, except for at the office, they had a drip American coffee pot there, but we did go in Santiago to the Cabinet. It's a big fancy cigar lounge there, which they have a whole bunch of cigars they sell in America, which I was not impressed with. I was like, where's the local cigars? They said they didn't understand. Um, so I asked them for some local brands, and they said they didn't have any. I was disappointed. For I wanted to support local even while I was abroad. Sort of like here, in that aspect, where you see the same brands on every single shelf in every humidor. I would like to go in a cigar shop or cigar lounge one day and only see local cigars. I think that would be cool. I think that would be better. Because I believe there's enough of us little guys click together, we won't be little anymore. It's kind of like, you ever seen that kid's movie, A Bug's Life? Where the ants, about the ants and the grasshoppers, or the grasshoppers use the ants, and the ants provide for the grasshoppers. And there's not very many grasshoppers, and there's tons of ants. And one of the things that's very important in there is the grasshoppers say, one of the head grasshoppers say, he goes, once they figure out that they outnumber us of 100 to 1, our way of life is over. And enough of us small guys, us local guys, our mom and pop shops, once we realize we outnumber the big boys, hundreds to 1, we'll change the game. Because they are dependent on us to provide for them. Same in the cigar world. If all the cigar lounges and all the cigar shops say, we're no longer going to provide for you. We're only going to carry local brands, small brands, mom and pops brands, private labels. And enough of us click up together, because we make better cigars than they do. And we get them from better rollers and better quality people than they do. So that's going to hurt them and impact them, but make us better. Food for thought. It's a great stick. I have no idea what this is that he gave me. That's great. I'm going to see about getting all of Francie's line up here, because they're all great cigars, and he is a great person, which makes selling his cigars even better. This one, the guy is great, the product is great, makes it easy. Makes it easy. But anyway, just processing a little bit of my trip to come back to Kansas City, reminiscing of the Dominican. Should probably get to work now. Thanks for watching. Ball Enterprise. Cigars paired with purpose.